Okay. You can try from there. Okay. Hello. Honorable Mike. Hi, how are you doing? Hope you're good today. Half full, half empty. Hello. Hello. Nigeria decides. Okay. Let's leave it off for now. When I need it, it's gonna come on. Good evening, everyone. How are you doing today? Hope you guys have been having a great week so far. Let me check my audio. I don't know if it's loud enough. Okay, that's better. Honorable Mike, if you can hear me, wave. Half full, half empty. If you can hear me, say hello. Wave. Let's know that you're actually there. That these are not bots, robots, AI. It seems the world is being taken over by AI now, so we are saying everybody should say hello. And let's see. Okay. Okay. Okay, real Mustafa. It's coming on one by one. Malam Yaks. How are you today, my brother? It's good to see you online. I hope you can hear me. So tonight we're going to be having a really interesting discussion. Nigeria decides, election 2023. The presidential elections are upon us. They're going to be taking place on Saturday. And still yet, you know, like every other election, of course, naturally, you're still going to be hearing plenty of back and forth, plenty of drama. Even though the campaigns are supposed to officially be over, you're still seeing quite a bit of campaign going on in terms of people throwing jabs at each other and all that. People doing last-minute outreach. People doing, hello, I am too felicious. People doing last-minute outreach, last-minute mobilization. Quite a few people have been lamenting about what their expectations were so far in terms of mobilizing in their local neighborhoods, in their local governments and all that for the elections. But things, like always, there are always challenges when it comes to dealing with a large mass of people. And for a country like Nigeria that has roughly maybe 214 million people, of course, it is expected that you will see something, like that happening, where there will be several challenges. But when you think of those challenges, you now have to start wondering that we've seen a country like Brazil very recently, which they've just sworn in their new president. They've had their own challenges too. And those challenges that they've had, hello, Diary of a Canadian mom. Those challenges that they've had between the two, leading candidates for the presidential elections, they've been able to manage it adequately. And so far, so good. We have not heard any damning news in terms of whether there has been violence and all of that. Of course, there were unrests, here and there, people, little skirmishes, little arguments, that kind of stuff. You always find those kind of things when it comes to, elections in large countries. Brazil happens to be the 5th largest country in the world, so they have about 217 million people, that kind of stuff. So you definitely see that there are going to be a couple of issues. But that being said, Nigeria is a wonderful country, very dynamic. Nigeria has only God knows how many tribes, how many ethnic groups, how many languages being spoken. You have 774 local governments. Coordination is a nightmare for anybody when you consider how large a country like Nigeria is, both in terms of population and in terms of landmass. So when you start, putting all those things into context, you now start to tell yourself that, yes, there definitely will be challenges. So where do you start as a people? I think the first thing we need to start doing, first things first, is there are quite a lot, hello, Vanny, there are quite a lot of people who are responsible that are here tonight. So I think we'll first start with ourselves by telling ourselves that we all need to try and make as much noise as possible. That Nigeria is a very delicate and very fragile country. So we all need to be careful in our utterances so we do not heat up the polity. Even though we have seen, really big men, saying quite a few things, some actually giving us quite a few dramatics in terms of castigating their opponents or the opposing parties and all that. And they've been doing plenty drama. Some rolling on the floor, some holding stick in the air, some saying they know they give shishi, but we are beginning to see packets of, but I'll leave all of that until, my guests come on. So tonight I actually have 3 interesting guests. So I have Diary of a Canadian mom coming on. She is an amazing woman representing the Labour Party in the diaspora and all that. She's been doing a fantastic job so far, because she has actually brought quite a few things to the limelight that a lot of people, ordinarily were not thinking of, in terms of her principal, her candidate, Peter Obi, and his running mate, Datti. So on the Obi Datti ticket, there have been quite a few, bombshells being thrown here and there in terms of, their competence and all of that. And Diary of a Canadian mom has been, at the forefront of that. Her name is Preye. And then we also now have Ayodeji Bakare. And that guy, sensational guy. And like I said before, I wish he was one that was running for president. And I told all the other candidates, go and sit down. This guy is for the job. Because he knows his onions. And then the guy can really talk his way through things. And then you now talk of, he's representing, the APC, don't let me forget. So he's popularly referred to as DJ Bongoli. He's an engineer, but he's also a DJ. So he's multi-talented and he's very savvy. And then, of course, you now have also, for the PDP, you have Mustafa Mohammed Alfa. Now, Musti Alfa, way back in the days, they used to call him Musti Kato, then he, graduated into Musti Millions, and now he's Musti Billions, and so on and so forth. He's been an entertainment giant in Southeast Asia for several years and all that, and he's not a politician. And he's done wonderfully well for himself, especially when it comes to the issue of representing his party, representing the youth of his party. Although I've yapped them before because I don't understand how men in their 50s will be, you know, representing youth, you know, in their political parties and all that kind of stuff. But I guess it is Nigeria. You get to see those kind of things. So where old men are representing, you know, the youth. Nigeria is a peculiar country where people who are in their 50s, who are supposed to be presidents, are actually looking at somebody who is 60 years old and saying that that is a youthful president. But of course, when you have a president who, or a candidate who is going into his 80s, yes, definitely, the 60-year-old is a youthful president. But we should actually be having people in their 40s, people who are very dynamic, people who can keep up with the pace of the world that we live in as of today. Practically everybody that's here right now, of course, knows about Chat GPT and all of that. So we can understand that the world is advancing pretty fast. So we would need, for a country like Nigeria that has about 65% of its 200 and something million population under the age of 35, you would need a very youthful, very far-seeing, a visionary president to run a country like that. But we have found ourselves where we are right now, and we can't complain. Where are my guests? Let me see what's going on. Let me invite them to join one after the other. Real Mustafa, and so DJ Bongoli is not here yet, but I'll bring on those two guests in the meantime, and then we can continue this conversation from there. But like I was saying anyways, so adequately we should be looking at very youthful presidents for, you know, for a dynamic country like Nigeria. But that's not where we have found ourselves. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Hi, Habib.
Hello, Preye. How are you doing today?
Good. Hi, Musti. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you, Preye?
I'm fine, bro.
I heard that people was yabbing me already. I'm an old man. Habib, be careful. Oh.
Alhaji Mustafa is
don't you know that? Don't you know that you start at the age of in Nigeria at the age of 55, and I'm not 55 yet. What's wrong with you?
Preye, are you a youth?
I'm a youth too, but if care not taking, if we get it wrong, if I blink and open in 8 years, I'll be shaking.
Now, first things first. Let me first say this, Musti.
Yeah.
We had Preye on, you know, about 2 weeks ago and all that. And then the next thing I saw was that Instagram, you know, froze the video. They did not allow our video to be aired. And I was wondering what is going on. They said we actually put content that belonged to Sony Music Entertainment. And it was just me and Preye here. So I had to go.
I don't know. Mark needs competition. He's beginning to reach at this point.
Only for me to find out that Preye is actually a major stakeholder in Sony Music Entertainment.
I wish.
So I say, oh, so this is how Preye herself has got to go and hide money in Panama.
I get money. You don't like money.
Eh?
Oh,
is that how you people do?
That's how Star do.
Is that how you people do?
That's how Star do.
This is interesting. Very interesting. Now we are waiting for, you know, DJ Bongoli and, you know, Mr. Bakare. But in the meantime, continue our conversation. I have two explosive people here. Both of you can make my day, because having just one each on at any point in time, I had a great time, and it was really explosive, you know, with just individuals, much less where you now have Labour Party, you have PDP, you have APC, all on board, and everybody spitting fire at the same time.
I think your volume, your mic is squeaking.
My mic, what's wrong with my mic? Can you hear me?
Okay, now it's better.
Okay, I don't know what's going on. I think probably it's a network or something. Let me just do this first. Is it better now?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I think, okay. Mr. Ayodeji Bakare is here to join us. So.
He was looking for his broom.
Mr. Bakare, your group does not have a... Hello?
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Good evening.
They say you are looking for your broom, Mr. Bakare.
No, I'm at work right now, so I'm doing this interview at work, so there's no broom. There's no broom today.
Oh, okay.
So that means we're going to have peace.
So sorry to be imposing on you.
We're going to have peace. There's no broom today.
Yeah, this is not broom mode. Broom mode was on Tuesday. This one is cool down mode because campaign ends today now, officially.
Yeah, tonight.
So are you at the APC headquarters? Are you at the APC headquarters? Are you at the APC headquarters?
Fingers crossed, sir.
Yeah, the APC headquarters.
Fingers crossed.
You know, I was just telling Laji Mustafa how I found out that Preye has money in Panama and she used it to buy. That's why they refuse to let our interview with Preye. That's how Instagram. Okay, so I think it's Preye's mic. It's not my mic.
Yeah, Preye's mic, yes.
Because I'm plunging.
You have to take her out and bring her back in.
Okay.
Or I think maybe she's going to adjust it or something. Today is chill out. It's chill out. You know, we are saving our energy for the. You know, we're on the road tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm traveling. I'm going to be in Adama. I'm traveling tomorrow morning. So we're trying to, you know, keep the tempo low. So I can say, because I can see today Obi has lost his voice. So I don't want to go there and lose my voice.
Obi lost his voice?
Obi lost his voice, though.
Obi has lost his voice every time now. Because he has been talking to the Nigerian people every day, non-stop. He loses his voice every time. It just takes a little tea, you know, some mint, and he's back on track. Don't worry about that.
It is not village.
Please, Musti, please, when you get safe trip to Adamawa State, and please say hello to Musti is ruling. Say hello to Mustafa that left the Labour Party. You know, the Labour Party lost their structure in Adamawa State. They've already merged with APC. So kindly say hello to him for me on my behalf, your namesake.
Preye, is that true?
Oh, yeah, that happened, but it's nothing. It's just a few select group of people. They still don't speak for the Nigerian masses. They are not a large portion of the Nigerian populace, so I have nothing to worry about. And don't forget that while we talk about those few bunch of people that have decamped or whatever they thought they did, we have two parties that have collapsed their structure for us.
That is not true. That is entirely true. That is entirely true.
Bongoli, I'm not talking to you now. I'm not talking to you yet.
I reached out to a senior, you know, member of the ADC, for instance, to confirm you know, collapse the structure or not, and she said she had not gotten any communique to that.
It's not collapsing of structure; it's adopting someone as your candidate, so the polling unit agents can work on their behalf as well.
Oh, polling unit
Bongoli, yeah, the office, so behave yourselves. Yeah, in the office. Continue.
DJ, that's what. Leave
me alone. Stop. I don't understand. How many people on this live? It's 3 people now. Why are you testing me? Allow me to sell my market. You sell your market. So be all right.
Let's take turns so that we can hear each other clearly. Now,
okay.
You were saying something just now. You said that that it was just simply a case of the polling agents will be working for...
No, when you adopt a candidate, which is what we term collapsing structure, really, it's nothing major apart from the members of the party, or most members of the party have decided to follow someone else in another party and would work to deliver that person.
Okay. So does that mean that Dumedi Kachiku of the ADC is no longer interested in running for president?
I don't know. That's their business. It's within their party. They didn't merge with the LP, so I can't start talking about their party issues.
He is the presidential candidate of ADC, Kachiku, the younger brother of the former minister of
State. I know, and I said I'm not going to speak on his behalf about running for president or not. That's what I said. I know who Kachiku is.
He said
I know who Kachiku is. I just answered Habib's question by saying, if that's not my business, if he chooses to run or collapse or support someone else, it's not my place to say.
You are going all around this. You are going all around the place.
You are not the moderator of the show, so I don't answer to you. I'm answering Habib.
Bongoli, things are getting really interesting, you know, with this election.
Oh, John even just said he's no longer running. Thank you, John, for clarifying. I didn't have that info. Like I said, I wouldn't speak what I don't know. I'm not like Bongoli that will start saying what I don't know. I only said they adopted Obi as their candidate, and the PUs are working for us.
John, please. Sorry, John, please, can you clarify who is no longer running? Let us have that clarity. Can you just please type it in the comment section, please, so that we can see. Meanwhile, Bongoli, we can see that, you know, a lot has been happening. There's been a lot of contention, especially with the deployment of the military in some perceived hot. INEC is saying that Nigerians have collected about 87 million PVCs, and in Lagos alone, 6.2 million PVCs.
Nice.
But as much as I am happy that, you know, almost half of Nigeria's population has collected PVCs and all that, there's a challenge presently, and that challenge is the Naira buying Naira in the black market. How are people expected to be able to go to the polling booth when they don't even have food at home? They can't buy fuel into their car. They can't do anything. How is that supposed to work? But you know what? I won't let you answer that question. I'll let Preye answer. I'll let Preye take that first. Preye?
I think what happens with most people is we underestimate Nigerians, right? Yeah. The Naira policy implementation, like I said, and I've said it over and over again, was a good policy with probably good intentions behind it, but very horrible implementation, right? How people will go to the polling units. People, first and foremost, most people are voting at polling units within proximity of where they live. Number two, Nigerians are resilient. They are not those kind of people who say, oh, because of bread, I will not go out today. People are the level of awareness now is at an all-time high. So Nigerians are not putting those things first. Oh, because of cash, I will not vote. No, people are saying, regardless of what is happening, I've spoken to people in the grassroots that have said, regardless of the situation, I'm going to show up on Saturday, I'm going to cast my vote, and I'm going to wait for the votes to be counted and transmitted. So it's not the Naira policy. Yes, it has caused some hardship. I recognize that, but I know that it's not in the way of Nigerians exercising their civic duty on Saturday. That I'm sure of. Okay. And I have faith in Nigerians.
All right. So now when you spoke about, you know, most people voting in their proximities, I'll go over to Bongoli. I saw a video a few days ago, I think it was yesterday or day before yesterday, where some people in the Niger Delta were complaining about the fact that they wanted to vote for the Labour Party, but they were not going to be able to get into their boats in the creeks to actually go, you know, to polling booths and all of that. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, that shows firstly, I know you asked the question, but Kachiku has not stepped down. So that's false information. He has not stepped down. Now, let me go back to the question. You know, this kind of situation is very sad because the Obi people, supporters, are very politically naive. Why do I say they are very politically naive? Talk over me. This is the truth. You don't have to talk over me. I didn't talk over you. I listened to you.
The question was actually a case of, you know, some Obedients were the ones that were actually lamenting that they are in the case not able to buy diesel.
I know. So I know. That's what I'm trying to explain. It's because of the political naivety. They do not understand that you need money to run campaigns. They don't know you need money for mobilization. They don't know you need money to canvass. Yeah. They don't know you need money for agents. Like one of my senior colleagues said, to buy Coke, to buy bread, to buy biscuits. They don't know. Because we have 176,606 polling units in Nigeria. And say, for example, Labour Party has all agents in all, which is impossible anyway. Now, you are going to give your polling agent about 20,000 naira minimum for, you know, allowances and all that. You also have mobilizers. You're going to have people that will say, hey, I cannot vote. I need someone to come and carry me to go and vote. Don't worry, we just need to come and vote. We'll have buses here for you to move it from point A to point B. So in the Creeks, for example, which she is from Bayelsa State, I mean the Labour Party spokesperson here, she's from Bayelsa State, so she understands the Creek better than I do. I would say so. But we know that you have to use like what's it called, their boats and their ships to get to the creeks to vote and all of that. You need money for that. So that is the Labour Party's problem. Because this is also part of the problem that the Labour Party chairman in all 36 states, the Federal Republic of Nigeria also complain. They complain about it today. I think it was on the Vanguard or something like that, where they complained that the funds and the finances that's being used to run, or they needed to run whatever campaign they are doing or run the elections and mobilize people is nowhere to be found. That is where we find ourselves. Elections cost money. Elections are expensive. So you need money to find, and that is why they are saying that we know they give shishi, we know they give shishi. Yes, you know they give shishi, you know they give shishi. But you have to have money to mobilize people. You have to pay for canvassers, you have to pay for mobilizers, you have to pay for polling unit agents. Man, polling unit agents are going to be there from 8 o'clock to like 10 p.m. or something. They're going to be there like maybe 6 or 7 a.m. Elections are expensive. It's not coming on live and saying, that's what the lady said, Mama T of Worry, that's her name. She's a comedian on IG. You know, we need money. It's not about we know they give shishi. If you don't mobilize people, many a times you lose your votes. Where are your bails?
So, Bongoli, if you say she's a comedian, how are we sure now that that was not a
No, I'm being very. You know why it's a confirmation?
Yeah.
You know why it's a confirmation? Because the Labour Party chairman in all 36 states of the Federation came out to publicly say that they are not giving them the required finances to run the elections. They are not giving them the required finances to run the campaigns.
Yes,
so
you've said nothing about APC since we started talking. You said nothing about your candidate.
No, hold on. Preye now.
Governor's cousin that was in the video with the woman has come out to address it. So that has been debunked already.
Preye, wait now. Mr. Habib, please, you need to do me a favor. Preye likes to talk over me. Please tell Preye to mute herself. She has her time to talk. I don't talk when she's talking.
So I think the reason why that is happening is because geographically speaking, Preye is on top of you. So that's why she's trying to, you know,
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. When it comes to Preye, even if she's beneath me or above me or my side, she will talk over me. Let her not talk over me. I'm in a very. I cannot shout where I am.
You better shout. So today is the day that you are supposed to shout.
I cannot shout.
Let me go on to Mustafa. We have seen that two things have happened, you know, in quick succession when it comes to Atiku Abubakar. The first is that he and Wike, there has been a long-running battle. So it seems like he cannot hold the party together. But I'll come back to that. Let's first start with, we have seen a letter where retired general, former president Obozuwa has endorsed Peter Obi. What does that say of his boss, his former boss, not endorsing him?
This is a democratic, we're in a democratic country. So everybody has the freedom and the will to vote and support whoever they want to support, endorse whoever they want to support. That's the beauty of democracy. I think that's what I can say about General Obasanjo. I mean, just because he was Atiku's boss, doesn't mean that he's Atiku he wants to support. I mean, the guy has that's the beauty of democracy. That's the only thing I can say is the beauty of democracy. So I will not. I want Nigerians to understand something. It's just like having an issue with your dad. Remember when we were growing up, then when we used to watch TV and Popsi would come, all of us would disappear. You understand what I'm saying? Because the way they dealt with us when we were small, even now, we don't sue them for child abuse.
No,
you have problems.
Anyway, because now me be the remote control.
You understand? So you have a problem.
I was a good child, though. I didn't have any problem.
We always see our Popsi used to disappear.
I was good.
But for me not to digress, right? So I won't forget what I'm trying to say. You have disagreement with your mom and dad, your parents. That doesn't mean you don't like them. You understand? I've gone in a situation where I had problem. I was, in the north. When you get to a certain age, you don't stay in the main building with the parents. You have you guys stay in the chalet. The way the Muslims do their thing. And I was fighting with my mom, and we didn't speak for a long time because by the time she wakes up, I'm out. By the time she goes to sleep, that's when I come back. You understand what I'm saying? That doesn't mean she's not my mom. So I think the good thing about democracy is that you have the freedom to express how you feel. You have this freedom to vote who you want to vote. So I don't think that Olusegun Obasanjo's the former president, I don't think is an issue. To us, for us, it's not something we should have sleepless night over. But no, so I don't think that is. It doesn't fix anything, anyways, because he has come out to say, look, VP, Atiku, His Excellency, has done this, has done that. He has done the good side. I mean, people always have issues, so I don't think that's something that people in Nigeria should ponder about.
Okay, so Preye, I'll come back to you. What I find curious about the endorsement is the fact that barely 2 years ago, the same General Obasanjo was endorsing the same Atiku, pouring accolades on him, for almost 25 minutes. He was actually praising Atiku, talking about how savvy he was, in terms of handling the economy and all of that. Now, when you see this level of, change, this drastic change in one man, which is not something that, this is not the first time that we have seen him doing stuff like that. But when you see that the man is doing that consistently, how much should his words be trusted in terms of this is quote unquote endorsement?
I would like to agree. Okay, you said you were coming back to me.
So, okay, Mr. Habib, Mr. Habib, that's Mr. Habib, that's what I'm just trying to say. That's the beauty of democracy.
Yeah.
You see, people will interpret this in so many ways. People have different opinions or they have different interpretations of whatever is played out. Okay? My interpretation is, look, this is a democracy. Do what the hell you want. You can come today and endorse somebody and endorse another person tomorrow. You understand? You see, that's the issue with, what we find ourselves today in this political dispensation. Okay? And when I listen to learned people that are very learned, people that went to school more than me, or people that understand politics more than me, you understand? And when I see them making utterances or certain statements or taking certain situations and harping on that and trying to make that politically incorrect or correct, I laugh at them. Because at the end of the day, look, that's why Atiku, when people say Atiku is not speaking, because there are certain things that doesn't hold waters. So if General Obasanjo today said endorse Obi, and tomorrow he tried to endorse Bongoli, it's a political it's democracy. It's democracy. So that's how I look at it, though. No, but Obi is not in PDP now. Obi is not in PDP. So you don't respect General Obasanjo? Is that what you're saying? You don't respect General Obasanjo?
So,
are you minding him? You remember how APC was begging Obasanjo for endorsement in 2015?
Of course, we know now. That's why I don't want to. That's why I didn't want to go to that. I want to go that route. Everybody has his own interpretation.
Hello.
It's not my turn to talk, so I will not say anything.
No, we can talk. It doesn't matter. We're Sama. Melembe. No problem.
Before you go on, now I've realized that we keep doing ourselves a disservice as Nigerians by consistently denying what we know that are facts. Several people have said in there that OBJ never endorsed Atiku. I will not argue with you. All you need to do is lie to yourself or convince yourself, go and fact check, just go on YouTube and go and type it in. It is there. I'm not going to argue that one. If you like, deceive yourself and say it never happened. If you like, agree. It doesn't change the fact that he actually did. Now, we continue to have leaders in Nigeria who today will say one thing, then tomorrow change it. Know one thing for sure. It is their personal interest that they are serving. So if you cannot look in the mirror and tell yourself the truth, then you are in trouble. You want a better Nigeria, but you do not want to pay the price for a better Nigeria. If somebody is lying to you, look the person in the eye and say, you are a liar. I'm not going to talk about him tonight because he is not the topic of discussion. I have quite a few things I could have said. But, like I said, continue to lie to yourself. Now, Preye, sorry, back to you. Like I was saying, for somebody that is this inconsistent, should I say he's inconsistently consistent and consistently inconsistent, how do we trust what he is saying? Is he talking in parables? Is he trying to sabotage? Because if he is giving support to Obi, would that not make some people think twice based on the fact that they don't trust he himself?
Habib, like I said, I was going to agree with Musti with the aspect of Obasanjo has his democratic right to declare his support. However, that he is a former president puts him in a spot where we say, okay, this man is influential and he has followers and he's trying to steer his followers in a certain direction. Even if he might have had a different opinion in 2019, nothing stops him. Democracy allows for you to change your mind. The madman in the village square has a right to say, now my candidate be this. Like, your democratic right has nothing to do with, oh, some people have a say and some people don't have a say. Even the one that you feel has no influence or can still come out and tell you, I support this goat for president. I support this chicken. In fact, I'm putting my weight behind this chicken now, running around to become my next president. And that's the thing with democracy. So when you say he's inconsistent, he's this, I know that democracy allows for you to change your mind, to redirect your steps if you may, right? I know that the Nigerian democracy is still growing. So we'll leave room for a lot of some of those things. However, I wouldn't say, oh, because he's endorsing because he wants to sabotage. I think that's taking it too far. And I'll also say for a fact that Obasanjo endorsing Obi, regardless, it's a welcome development. We like it. He was a former head of state, a former president of Federal Republic of Nigeria. So yes, he has a following and his endorsement is good. I mean, for each and every one of us, when we're trying to get a job and you have industry, for my own sector now, you have industry executives refer you and give a good word out for you, it helps. So I think that's more of what it is than, oh, what us spinning and dancing around Obasanjo's personality as an individual. So he has a right to choose and endorse who he wants to endorse. And I know that I have faith in the Nigerian people to take all the information that's out there and make the best decision for themselves. That's how I see it.
So Bongoli, for, former President Olusegun Obasanjo to have endorsed Peter Obi, there was a question, that lies in within that, because he seems to be the only former president that is vocal about elections. So you have former generals. You have General Gowon, he's still alive. You have Babangida and you have Abdulsalami. They don't say anything. You have President Jonathan. He's been quiet as well. Obasanjo is the one that's always talking. What is your perspective of that?
Well, in my humble opinion, Baba Obasanjo, I respect him, and he's one of our Yoruba leaders, even though I have never agreed to any of his politics, policies. I never supported the man. But he seems to be very vocal. And since he left office, I think he's just maybe wanting to stay relevant and wanting to be in the forefront of decision making. Because if you look at 2007, he handpicked the late President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. And then the unfortunate incident happened, and then he stuck with Jonathan in 2011, and then for some reason he moved down to Buhari in 2015, and then in 2019 he moved to Atiku. Now in 2023 he's moving to Obi.
Yeah,
there's one thing that is similar amongst every one of these people that he supports or he endorses. And the similar thing is his interest. Now, we don't know what is, I can't sit here and tell you what his interest is or his interests are, but that is the only constant nomenclature here in what we are seeing today. So in my humble opinion, I think it's just based on his interest. He has all of the constitutional rights in the world to do that. I actually miss his letters, because when he was disparaging Jonathan, it was so much fun. And he was supporting his, what's he called, his senior colleague. Is he senior or junior colleague in the military? I think it's his junior colleague in the military. It was so much fun. And then also when he started attacking him, because his letters, because he's ruled Nigeria from 1976 to 1979, and also 1999 to 2007. So that is a man that God gave the opportunity twice to change Nigeria for the good, or for the better, for the best. And in my opinion, I think he tried, but at the end of the day, his bad was more than his good. And I think Buhari also is the second person that has had that opportunity. So I think he knows a lot. He has wealth of information, but then I think it's just his interest. I think, and to the Obi people, there was one proverb he quoted, or he said in Abeokuta when Obi came to meet him. He simply says, "The waist of my child cannot be a certain type of way, be compromised a type of way, that I'll now go and wear the beads on the child of another person." Now, the Obi people, I don't know if you understand that Yoruba proverb. I see Musti smiling there when I said that proverb. Baba said it, and only Baba can interpret what he said. But I know that it's tricky, Obi. That's all I will say. Thank you very much.
So wait, why is Nigerian politics, why is it so interesting? Why do you have so many different characters? It's during the elections and all that you hear people coming up with all sorts of parables, all sorts of whatever and all that. Something keeps confusing me. Preye, I'll start with you, and then I'll rotate it backwards by Musti coming next.
Okay.
What I'm very curious is this. We know that Nigeria, being a peculiar country, having the type of challenges that it has, rather than people doing issues-based campaigns, is either they are dancing, or they are throwing rhetorics, or they are trying to be fun in the kind of stuff that they say. And I mean all the candidates. I don't want to start yapping them one by one, because right now I'm actually in the mood to start taking them one after the other and yapping each one, because I have found them absolutely hilarious. Now, because they have turned the whole thing into such a comedy, a lot of Nigerians are forgetting that you have House of Reps, you have Senate, and you have presidential elections. Each one of these tiers or these elective offices are equally as important. If a president wants to be effective, he has to have members of the National Assembly who are right-thinking people, who are visionaries, who also want the same thing, a better country. But in the event that the voters themselves are not even focusing on the Senate and the House of Reps, how do we expect to achieve change in Nigeria?
I think that is an assumption, Habib, because people in their localities are doing their best to push for whoever they feel is the best candidate in all levels of government. It's not just Peter Obi. Although with the presidential elections, people are putting more energy into that. But I know people are still having conversations around who their senator is going to be, their House of Reps member is going to be. And I know that the president needs those people in power. However, to impeach someone, in case that's what you're worried about, you need to have grounds for impeachment. Secondly, Labour Party has...
impeachment. Are you saying about impeachment?
No, I'm saying that's the general rhetoric, like, oh, he doesn't have so many people across the board, or maybe the members, the people running for House of Assembly or House of Reps or Senate, they are not all as popular. How is he going to function without his party, you know, being present? But I can tell you for a fact that they are candidates and they are doing their homework. And people are not, like I said, we're underestimating Nigerians. People are not just saying, oh, presidential elections. People are actually making up their minds. You have situations where people are saying, oh, for Senate, we're choosing this person in PDP, and for presidency, we're going to vote Obi. So I don't think that it is 100% that everybody is just focusing on the presidential elections and leaving that out. I know that people have done their campaigns locally within their constituencies, and the voters are, well, like I said, the level of awareness is at an all-time high. Bongoli always spends time trying to mock Bielsa from the creeks or from this. Those my creek brothers, if they hear them yarn now, they know what's up. They know what to do at the polls. They are not that oblivious. So like I said, we keep underestimating Nigerians. There's a certain level of awareness that has never been seen before. As at today, 87 million PVCs. People are ready to be part of this conversation. They are ready. So I don't think, I would say, I don't think everybody's just sitting and waiting to just vote for the presidential elections, vote during the presidential elections and not put their voice down for other positions that affect them directly. People are really, really aware this time. You'll be amazed.
What is the name of the senatorial candidate for LP for your Senate?
We don't have, for my state, we don't have.
You don't have a representative for that?
No, I don't have a senatorial candidate. I'm proud to say, I'm not going to lie to you. Like I said,
why are you not contesting?
Why am I not contesting? We're taking it one step at a time. I never reach yet now. I'm still doing my groundwork. And I hope you know that when you're running for office, you have to have a certain level of readiness. I am doing my own groundwork. I'm working with my people, regardless of office or not. I have so many community development efforts that I have put myself or inserted myself into. And for me, being in office or not is not what is my priority now. I could run later, but I'm not running now, and that's fine by me.
No, I was just poking, I was just jibing.
No, yeah, but I have intention. I might have an intention in my head, you never know. But I don't have an intention to run for office now.
I knew it.
No.
They were
Sunny music. I don't know anything about Sunny music, Habi.
For the fact I just knew it, that there was something.
I don't have any connection to Sunny music. I beg go and tell Mark to get himself together.
Everybody.
Yes, sir.
Everybody is talking mostly the same thing, you know, in terms of the Senate and the House of Reps. They are not focusing on this House of Reps and Senate. What are your thoughts on that? How do we hope to change if they are not?
Yeah, but you see, look, the truth about it, if you look at the, you see, the presidency, it's one of the drive. It's the major drive. Okay. Now, when you see political parties or you see politicians discussing, right? That's why if you look at the system at which the Nigerian the election is going, you have to do the presidency. I mean, you have the presidency, Senate, and the reps on the same day. Okay. Now, people are more focused on the president. Not that they're not, like I can tell you, for example, now in my senatorial district, you understand? I am not supporting anybody because I'm supposed to run also myself. So I'm not supporting my senatorial candidate. You know why? Because I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because everything, as you said, is about interest. You understand what I'm saying? if I have worked for my party for so long, and you know, this is not a discrepancy or a jab on, or maybe I'm jealous or something. I feel, look, if I'm not running for the Senate, my main priority at this point in time that I'm supposed to run for it, and I'm not running for it, my main priority is to make sure that I get my president elected. You get what I'm saying? This is what happens. You see, when the presidential election or the election for the presidency, is the main, is what people are focused on. Because remember, after this presidency, you have the gubernatorial election coming with the state assembly. You understand what I'm saying? So that the election of the presidency is key because it shows you. I mean, I don't want to go back to jab or beat them a little bit. That's what I was saying at the earlier.
You guys should. I don't understand, you know? Though. No, you can't say your candidates. I'm a little bit.
I'm trying to be a little bit realistic.
Allow Preye Democratic Party to speak. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So what I'm saying is this: as simple as that. You don't have a structure. You don't have a structure. So every political party, it's the structure itself. Of course, it's from the grassroots up. Now, if the president is elected, let's assume now, it's not even an assumption. That's what's going to happen. Come 25th, Atiku becomes the president-elect. That paves the way for more, what do you call it, more support for the gubernatorial candidate and the House of Assembly. You understand what I'm saying?
But mostly what I don't understand is this. If you, as well, are not supporting the candidates representing you,
my local government, yes. My constituency, yes.
What that means to me is that PDP is a fractured party.
No, it's not a fractured party. See, look, this is my opinion. A lot of people, look, some people tell you, like the way the political system is in Nigeria, okay? And they said, okay, you're allowed to vote the president who you want for presidency and vote the other party for governor or senatorial. See, for me, I'm not, for me, I look at it like a semi-antipathy kind of thing. That's how I look at it. This is not my opinion. So Nigerians, don't get me wrong. This is my opinion. I'm not saying that's a general opinion. For me, if I'm PDP, I'm PDP. So if I'm going to vote for the president, I don't feel like voting for the governor does not give me the impetus to go and vote for other political party as governor or senate. I might not like the guy. I might not trust the guy. Doesn't mean because I'm a party person means that I have to trust everybody around me, or I really like. Okay, I'll give an example. There was some time, I think somebody posted a question to me on Daddy Freeze about Reno Omokri. Okay? And I said, what I said was, look, Reno Omokri is in my party, is the same party as me. I'm a party guy. That doesn't necessarily mean I have to agree with whatever he does or whatever he says. He has the right to his opinion. You get my point? I have the right to my opinion, even though we're in the same political party. You get what I'm saying? So I'll give an example. Sorry, I'm digressing a little bit. I also want Nigerians to see this thing clearly, okay, so they understand it. If I'm PDP, I'm PDP all the way. I'm PDP all the way, okay? If I decide to say I'm going to vote somebody else in another level of governance, let's say senator or House of Reps, in another state or another part of the country where I'm not from, I don't think I think that is okay. That's how I see it. You understand? I'll give an example. I have friends in APC. I have friends in PDP and Labour Party. I have friends in MPP. You understand what I'm saying? We need to all coexist. That's what I always say. We need to coexist together. It doesn't matter, regardless of what party. But what I'm saying is that I will never vote in my state another party for another elective office. I won't do that. Because for me, it's quote unquote, this is my opinion. I might be wrong, but this is my opinion. You understand? Why would I be voting? I'm from social state. I'm voting the presidency. In that state, I'll go and vote on that person for my governor or senate. I'd rather not vote. I'll just vote for president. You understand? So I think that's what I can actually say. I don't want to go into some stuff that are very in-depth, but I mean, on the surface, that's the way I look at it.
Bongo.
Babami, wait. You ask the two of them the same question. Ask me that question before you go to APC. Let it be balanced.
Are you going to tell the moderator what to ask you?
No, let it be balanced. So.
How do you know it's not the same question?
Okay, no problem. But I just want to
simply because I said the APC.
Hey.
You think I want to throw you another question, or is it simply a case of I want to?
You want to attack me? You want to attack me?
No, you see, Bongo, I enjoy listening to you because you seem to have quite a lot of facts at hand. Now,
APC facts. APC facts.
Well, you see, that's why I was going to ask him an APC question.
Thank you. The APC. So whatever is saying that is facts is APC's ideology.
I comment my reserve. I comment my reserve.
Ask him an APC question. So, Bongoli, I mentioned earlier that we are seeing that people are not focusing on the House of Reps and the Senate. Preye made a couple of comments. Mustafa has made a couple of comments about, his own perspective and also the perceived perspective of the PDP. Now, would you say that APC, in terms of their goals and aspirations to still be the dominant party in Nigeria, that one, they are democratic, two, they actually, are focused on the Senate and the House of Representatives as well?
Well, apologies. I didn't know that was how you were getting with the question. Apologies. Apologies to my debaters, also co-debaters. Firstly, there was one thing Musti was saying, you talked about is your party fractured. In Adamawa State, where Musti is from, the governor, Fintiri, did not attend Atiku's mega rally. I just want to just...
Not Fintiri, it's Fintiri.
No, what mega rally? What do you mean mega rally?
Fintiri, the last rally he did now in Yola.
Our mega rally was in Adamawa now. From Jigawa Adamawa, he's also in charge of PCC.
Fintiri was not great now. Was Fintiri? Is it Fintiri? Was he there, the governor? Fintiri, was he there or not? Binani will crush you people. Secondly, to Labour Party. The first female governor, Binani, will crush you people. Now to Labour Party, do you know that in the House of Rep and Senate, there are total representatives that they are bringing for this election, or into this election, and they are further with it's only 68%. So even if by mistake, water pass Gary or water pass Gary will be enter. The treatment that they gave Musa Balarabe in 1979, when he was in PRP, that NPN gave him in the Kaduna State House of Assembly, that they impeached him in 1981. That's what they will do for him. Now, the other thing that people need to realize is, I've jabbed them enough. Now, the other thing that people...
For newspaper before? Have you for...
Huh?
You don't work for newspaper before?
No, I don't work for newspaper, and I follow come.
Checking these things that you are saying, keep going.
No, if I check me. If I check me.
But that was, I can support him on that, because that's what happened in PRP with Balarabe. That's exactly what happened, because he was not in the ruling party, and the National Assembly was all NPN.
Yeah, they crushed him. They finished him. 2 years, they finished him. So now somebody told me something, and why the APC takes us very, very seriously. Takes the state's House of Assembly, Federal House of Assembly, Federal Reps, takes the Senate and all of that. He was telling me, because he coaches me once every week, he's a grassroots politician. Once every week, he gives me 30 minutes lecture. He says, power is not only the president. Power is how many people can that position that you hold control. Now, for the president, look at what's happening with the Naira policy, for example. Even though it is an appointed office, you can see that the governor of the CBN was able to put some policies in place. Now, let us juxtapose that. Is
that why we are buying Naira?
Well, that's another conversation for another day. Okay. But let us juxtapose that with the House of Reps, the Senate, and all of that. Now, I want to quote one part of the Constitution, Section 44, subsection 3. It says that the whole mineral resources in Nigeria, under the ground and on water, is to be managed by the government of the federation. Remember, a federation is country and states.
Yeah.
So the country and state are supposed to work hand in hand to control it. But guess who is supposed to put everything together and make that allocation? The National House of Assembly. This shows us how key and how very important
National
that
Assembly.
Yes, Section 44, subsection 3. You can quote me anywhere. You can open it right now. Section 44.
Are you saying House of Assembly or National Assembly?
National House of Assembly, like the House of Assembly, National House of Assembly.
So that's National Assembly. So House of Assembly.
Yes. No, it's not states.
You have the National Assembly. There's no National House of Assembly.
Sorry, maybe okay. Sorry, State House of Assembly. Wait, State House of Assembly, the National Assembly. Yes, thank you. That's what. But I'm just saying it's national. The Senate, upper and lower chamber. They are the ones that are actually in charge of the. Another one is your roads, the ones that are manned by the local government. You are supposed to work hand in hand with your state house reps. Okay. It shows how important, and we in the APC, we understand that. That's why we try to put in and put forward very, very credible candidates, because we understand that for policies to go from top to bottom, you need that continuity. You need your party support. Look at what happened in the House, in the Senate in 2015. Even though former Senate President Bukola Saraki was in APC, but he had he had his own personal interest, and he was not supposed to be the Senate according to the plan of the APC. But he did his own thing with his APC guys, became that. And look at how the country stalled, because he was not pushing whatever President Muhammad Buhari was bringing to the Senate. It shows how these things work, how challenging it is. So we understand the key importance. We are spending all our resources. We are spending all our time, not just our presidential candidate. That's why my presidential candidate, in the person of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, say vote APC from top to bottom, because we understand all of this. The other one, as regards local government, that is in Section 7 of the 1999 Constitution. So I go by these constitutions, see the roles of this legislature, see the roles of the executive. Like the governors, for example, the governors are, I can even say they may be more powerful than the president. A lot of people don't know this. Governors, according to constitution, they may be more powerful than president. So we understand these things.
But Bongo, should that be the case? Because in a situation where we have seen that the governors are actually stalling the development of the states, in terms, especially when it comes to local governments, should we actually have a situation where governors are more powerful than the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria?
Well, that conversation you are having is a conversation that will take us all day to converse, because in Nigeria that we're talking about today, the state governors are requesting for state police. The federal government are saying, make your local government autonomous first. And you remember that because of this particular policy, the constitutional review that we did last year, early last year, it got stalled. Because for you to amend the constitution, all 36 houses of the state houses of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 2/3 of every of those houses must pass out according to law. Ovie Omo Agege, the deputy Senate president, came out and said about 20-something states are stalling it. And you know what happened? The federal government removed that local government autonomy, the executive, that local government autonomy that they are pushing for the constitutional review. And those ones said, okay, we'll not do community policing or whatever it is. And now they were not able to pass some. They dropped some constitutional review. So that conversation is a never-ending conversation. So I always tell people that come up with this state policing or come up with this local government autonomy that it can't float. It can't float, because no one is going to budge for the other. Because we know, for example, we have a governor in the South. Imagine that governor with state police. This is a governor that when the EFCC came to carry somebody from Abuja, stopped that from happening with his own police or with his own security forces in a state in Nigeria. When EFCC is under the police and the EFCC is federal, federal came to carry somebody in states, but state used resources to protect that woman. These are the issues. Should that be so? No. But where we find ourselves today, federal is not going to budge, state is not going to budge. That's goes. I rest my case. I rest my submission.
So I mean, when you look at Peter Obi, and you look at his stance when it comes to the issue of corruption and all that. Now, the governors having so much powers is a form of corruption, in my own opinion, because there's a lot of
it is, and that is what we're trying to change, right?
How does Peter Obi, being a former governor himself, having exercised those same type of powers, how does he hope to be able to tackle these types of issues with governors purportedly being more powerful than the president when they come together?
Okay, so you have to know first and foremost, Peter Obi was a governor with a difference. He did not govern with that mentality of I own the state, I'm going to enforce everything and anything I want to at any time. He was a very decent person. He focused more on the job, and that is bringing development to his state and, you know, making sure that the lives of the people got better under him. So he would replicate that nationally. It's not all about power and what you can, well, I know, yes, you can influence a lot of decisions in your state and make, of course, with the executive seats, make many others independently, but it does not still mean that you abuse power. Peter Obi is not known for abuse of power. Many people cannot testify to that. I can attest to that. I know many indigenes of his state too that can attest to that. He is not known to abuse power, existing powers. He applies power only when necessary and makes decisions only when necessary. So I don't think that he will have a problem with, oh, their governors are more powerful than the president. I know that, and like I said, we underestimate Nigerians. If you are doing the right thing, Peter Obi was the only governor under APGA, but he was still able to make a difference, not just in his state, but nationally, and work closely with the president at the time, Goodluck Jonathan. He was in charge of the Governors Forum at a point. So it's because he's competent and he puts his priorities first. So he would be able to manage that. Managing people is also one very strong skill he has. So when it comes to collaborating with people, he has no problems with that either. So when you say, oh, governors are powerful, this, that, Nigerians are very, very resilient and they're also reasonable. I believe the Nigerian people. I also believe that even when you're standing alone and you're saying the right thing as a leader, there's a tendency for people to see reason with you and fall behind you. And I expect that will happen, as that was the case in Anambra State. He did struggle. He was embattled. I'm sure you're aware of it. But later on, things started to flow because people started to understand his approach and what he was driving at. So Peter Obi will work tirelessly to align everyone, or not everyone, but at least most people across all tiers of government and all levels of government with his vision for Nigeria, which will make it easier to perform. So I have no worries about that. I'm confident about that.
So you see, I always have an issue with the contradictions that you have when it comes to Nigerian politics. So when you talk of the Governors Forum, for instance, which you brought up, you know,
it should be scrapped. That's nonsense.
The Governors Forum,
nonsense.
I only made reference to it.
No, I'm not saying Preye that I'm not attacking Preye. I'm not saying that Governors Forum is the problem that we have in Nigeria. I'm telling you.
That Governors Forum has no constitutional backing. First thing.
Oh no, it doesn't. It's just
exactly.
I know.
For a man who does not who wishes to fight against corruption, should he not have abstained from something that did not have a constitutional backing and was actually a threat to the system of governance in Nigeria?
When you say abstinence, what do you mean?
So as opposed to being either a member of the Governors Forum or even becoming, the president or the leader of the Governors Forum, should you not have
so when appointed, he should have turned it down. Is that what you're saying?
If you don't believe in something, should you actually partake in it?
That's you assuming that people don't believe in the Governors Forum. That's the practice. So here's the thing, Habib. We must always remember that our democracy is evolving.
Wait a minute. I said for somebody who fights corruption, and then have a group that is like a club that now seems like a threat to the existing system of governance that you have.
Yeah.
You have just stepped away from it. So even if you're going to be a member of the Governors Forum, should he have actually taken up leadership of the Governors Forum?
Okay, so here's the thing. Are you going to say that because he believes in fighting corruption, then he shouldn't have become the leader of the Governors Forum? Technically speaking, right, what you should be asking is, what was the Governors Forum like under him?
No, I can't ask that.
No. I'll tell you what. No, I'm getting somewhere. I'm getting somewhere, right? Our democracy has a certain pattern, and we have certain practices. You don't expect one individual to question every single thing. He was the governor of a state. He was part of the Governors Forum. He was selected into leadership, and he used it as a position to help other governors align with good policies, and also, with the economy of the country at the time, help make people, let me use the right words, help align people to a certain vision. Because of his performance, he was given that position. What we can say is, contrary to what Musti just said, we should scrap the Governors Forum. No, like I said, our problem isn't always the either associations or policies or processes or organizations or institutions. Is always how they function. So that's what we should be talking about. How would the Governors Forum function for the betterment of the people of their various states? And what is the essence? Can they redefine their purpose such that it would influence more positive development and not just turn out to be some club that governors are a part of, and they use it to maybe beg the president to make a decision in their favor here or there? No. I do agree that the Governors Forum has not been defined well enough to that point that I would say, okay, they influence positive change in their states, or it affects them positively one way or the other. But I would say it's a position, it's an aspect of governance, and it exists. We cannot just write it off. Instead, we can say, make it better, improve on their vision, and define their purpose such that people can then maybe believe in whatever activities they engage in collectively. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
I won't continue on that line, so that it doesn't seem like I'm bashing Peter Obi. But I'll go to Musti at this point.
You seem like you're bashing people all the time, so we're used to it.
I mean, I have issues, like I mentioned from the very beginning. I have issues with all the candidates. Now, when you look at the issue of this Governors Forum, it's ironic that you will be the one, as a leading member of the PDP, to say that they should scrap the governorship, the Governors Forum, particularly when you look at the fact that at this point in time, the person that is contesting for president on the platform of the PDP happens to have been the one that empowered the Governors Forum in the first place.
I know you're going to go there. I know you're going to bring that up. I know you're definitely going to bring that up. I was waiting for that. I know you're going to bring that up.
Yeah.
But you see, let me tell you something. Look, is it what people fail to understand? And look, politics is not madness, as far as I'm concerned. This is my opinion. So Nigerians should always quote me, this is my opinion, okay? What has Governors Forum done for the country, other than creating chaos? Number one, you understand, legalizing impunity. Number two, a kind of social club of where they can suppress the poor people, or the governor doesn't, the president doesn't want to, we don't believe him, we don't agree with this president, they gang up, they make the whole system ungovernable. What has Governors Forum done? Nothing. Just because he was established or he was given that thing during that our time, you understand? I remember 10 changes. You understand? The Governors Forum that we're talking about now, of today, especially under this APC-led government, is a cult. As far as I'm concerned. It's a cult. As far as I'm concerned, with this APC-led government, from 2015 to now, it has become a cult. Because we see what they do, We know what they do. You understand? If they don't have the interest of the people, even the states that they govern, you can only count one or few governors that actually have interest of the state that they govern. So what is the governors forum of? In fact, if it's me, Seb, I swear if I was president, I would remove immunity for all governors. Men don't get him. So if you do nonsense, well, the judiciary will hold you responsible. Because it has become a court. The governors feel they are larger than life. No, honestly, look, let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. It's not about party. You understand? The governors forum, as far as I'm concerned, that remember, I know governors, I know some personal governors, I know them personally, some. You understand what I'm saying? They have not done, okay, tell me what the governors, what effect do they have for the common man? Even in their state that they govern.
I saw Bongoli shaking his head. Bongoli.
No, you see, that's what I said. In this APC, you don't say you know APC people. Let me tell you something to APC people. I've noticed one thing with the APC people. They will see blue and they'll call it red. And they will fight tooth and nail to tell you that that thing that is blue is red. We know them. We know them. When we see them, we know them. You understand what I'm saying? They are the same people. It's not the same APC that was when they were doing the Naira redesign. I mean, let me digress a little bit. That they were 3 months ago. They didn't come out. They didn't come and shout. Nobody came and shout. Someone didn't come and shout. Yeah, Bello that is calling himself White Lion. I don't know what's White Lion about him. He didn't come and shout. It is now that they know that the thing is affecting them. They can't buy vote anymore. They are shouting. So APC, look, I think Nigeria should stop taking APC seriously. Really, they are not serious human beings. APC, I don't. Sometimes I don't blame them. Maybe it's because the coalition of other parties that came and formed APC. But really, APC government, obviously they're governors forum. Have you seen what they do? Bro, you don't see these guys they feel they're bigger than the president too. That's why they can be able to come and say, you know what, the president wants something else, they will do something else. Look at what happened in their primaries.
But do they have dancing governors?
Look, Nigeria is our culture to dance, to marry, to celebrate. That's our culture. That's why they call us the happy people. We're very happy human beings. You understand? I think if all the governors were dancing, we would not have this level of corruption. If they were busy dancing, then thinking of how they will steal money and put it in their house, and now it's election, they can't go and change that money, they can't bring it to buy votes. You understand what I'm saying? But the NPC, look, tell me one governor in PDP today that has the title to his name, White Lion. How can a human being call himself a lion? So the APC, the APC government, the APC people are not people that really take seriously.
For almost 22 years, you have had Lagos Governors Forum. So the APC, for instance, every single governor of Lagos State has come from one particular channel since 1999. So we have not seen them really being active when it comes to the Governors Forum and all of that. We know that most of them sit in Lagos and then they decide on what happens in Lagos. Lagos, the economy of Lagos is like the economy of a country. And that was one of the reasons I was asking Bongo initially that how democratic was APC. Now, for the fact that they do not particularly, try to be relevant when it comes to the Governors Forum, it should tell you that something goes on when it comes to the Lagos Governors Forum.
Habib, let me tell you something. Habib, look, the Governors Forum is a shamble. I'm not. Look, which word are going for Governors Forum? Look, if I was Lagos State Governor, what the hell do I do with Governors Forum? What do I think Governors Forum do?
Can I? Okay. Go ahead. Is it my turn now?
I'm not today. You know what I'm not worried about? Obi. It's me and you.
Thank you.
I'm thanking you today.
Thank you. It's my turn.
Obi, don't worry. Obi is a nice guy. So when he left from this election in 2007. Thank you. I know Preye will not agree with me, but Preye that's the truth anyway.
Talking about White Lion. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on, guys. I'm rolling. Can you guys hear me now?
Loud and clear.
Yeah.
Bongo, are you using style?
Okay.
Talk.
No, I'm not using style. It's the network. Musti that is talking. Musti that is talking. Musti is wearing white. Musti is wearing white. He's abused of a White Lion. He's wearing white. That's not where I'm going to. You see,
winning, and you're wearing black.
The Nigerian Governors Forum that is talking about, remember, it was under the PDP regime.
I know you're look, Bongoli, that's a low blow. Bongoli, don't go there, please. Let's go forward. Let us not go there.
No, now this is not how it's supposed to be. I'm supposed to talk. Everybody's supposed to be quiet too. I did not say the only thing I did was like this. I will show you. This is the only thing I did when he was talking.
I'm ready for you. I'm ready.
I will show you. I will show you. Let me talk. We have 90 people here that want to hear what Bongoli wants to say.
Bongoli, Lagos Governors.
Okay. What did you say? Sorry.
Lagos Governors Forum.
We'll talk about, no, in Lagos, we have Governorship Advisory Council. We have Governance Advisory Council. That's all we have. We have our own special something. But let me face, we have our own special something. Like
Let me talk about this Governors Forum. I want to hear what you want to say.
Remember, it was during the PDP regime that one governor, Jonah Jang, said that 17 can be greater than 19. From PDP, under federal PDP regime, and now look at what Musti is saying about Governors Forum. Are you seeing the hypocrisy on live on internet? Hypocrisy? Now, for Musti also, he kept on saying that if you're going to look at these Governors Forum, blah 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 blah. Do you know that the current governor, the leader of the Nigerian Governors Forum today, is Aminu Tambuwa? Where is he from? He's from PDP. Now, he said, go and look at, wait now. He said, go and look at their states, one thing. The poorest state in Nigeria, according to the multi-dimensional index, is Sokoto State to 91%.
And the last argument, he said, Anambra is everyone, every topic. You have a state that is the poorest. Before you get Anambra, now you are saying it's Sokoto. That's the PCO.
Let me talk. Are you now? Mostly, are you now Preye, and Preye is now you? Preye is quiet.
No, I'm just answering you now.
Preye is not even saying anything. Preye is not even saying anything. I'm even shocked. But I'm still going to come for her. She'll still talk.
You should be shocked. You should know that I'm not saying anything because I just want to leave you to be ranting and be going.
I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you.
People do that. So
you're sell your market.
Please,
okay, what? Sell your market. No. Everything is OB.
Please, let me talk. Now, if you look at the second poorest state in Nigeria, according to the multi-dimensional index, is Preye State, Bayelsa State, 88.5%, and it's under PDP. PDP state. That's why. Those are the reasons. Those are part of the reasons why we don't even want PDP close to federal governance, because they will come and put that their poverty and infest it on all of us completely. Now, moving forward. Preye was just talking about Obi, he did this, he did that, one thing. Those things are very, very untrue. Because we all know that Peter Obi knows nothing about grassroots development, growth, governance, and all of that. Why do I say so? This is a man that did not run local government. You know, we're talking about local government autonomy. He did not run local government elections for 7 years and 9 months. Ask him, where are the funds, local government funds that he was receiving? Peter Obi was receiving at least 3 billion naira monthly for local government funds. I think Anambra State has 22 local governments. Where are all that money? Where is it?
They were disbursed to the local government. They were disbursed to the local government. There's evidence of their disbursements.
Oh,
you asked a question. I'm answering your question.
No, I'm not answering. No, I'm not. It's a rhetorical question. Don't answer. You can answer during your time.
I will answer.
When they give you time to talk, you answer.
I will answer. As long as you are giving false, as you said,
false now.
You will see white and call it red.
Let me talk now. I'm not lying now.
Yes.
Let me repeat myself again. Peter Obi doesn't understand anything about grassroots development because he did not even deem it fit to run local government elections for 7 years and 9 months. And he was receiving federal allocation, local government, a minimum of 3 billion naira, at least 2 to 3 billion naira every month Multiply that by 8 years or 7 years and 9 months. Now tell me, what did you use that money to do? Because Anambra State plunged into poverty from 25% to 54%, according to the National Bureau of Statistics. So the apple doesn't fall from the tree. You can see that because you don't invest.
Well, it's not 54%. It was 41.
No, it was 25 to 54%, according to the National Bureau of Statistics.
That was as of 2007, it was 41.4.
This is according to what the governor of Anambra State said. And he showed us in his article, the second article. The first article
that uses Obiano as source of information is...
He said 20 to 68%. And now, in the second article he wrote, the one that caused problem that they don't like him anymore in Anambra State, he said from 25% to 54%. And he showed us in the article, National Bureau of Statistics. Let me move on. Obi impeded in grassroots developments. And he doesn't understand Section 7 of the 1999 Constitution. He doesn't understand Schedule 4 to understand the roles, the true roles that local government plays. Now, she was talking about autonomous and Obi did this and Obi did that. It's mere lies. So, Obi never gave autonomy to the judiciary
to answer the question,
and the legislature. To the judiciary and legislature in Anambra State.
I thought you were asked a question just now. No. You are not here to debunk. Answer the question Habib directed at you.
Waiting now. I'm waiting now. Obi
He can't answer it now. Don't you understand?
He
cannot answer it now. Why you come to
the question? You are not here to represent APC. You are here to represent APC.
You cannot tell me how not to answer my question. You are not the moderator according to what you tell me.
You are not answering the question.
You are not the moderator. You are not the moderator.
I'm talking to the moderator. You said nothing about your candidate.
Moderator.
Am I missing something?
Please let him land. Go ahead.
Okay, please make sure you land quick. The flight is too long.
If I had landed now, if I let me speak without interrupting me, I'll have finished what I want to finish. Now,
go.
Obi did not make local, he messed up local governments in Anambra State, impeded their growth and development. He did not make the judiciary and the legislature, no wonder they were impeaching him. He did not make the judiciary and the legislature autonomous, because we're talking about impeding. We're talking about governors trying to be powerful and all of that. He wanted to have grand control. He's a control freak. He likes control. He also always, that's why if you look at his campaign, all the old chairmen in the states are complaining that he just gave his cronies. He's on Vanguard. It's not Bongoli that wrote, he's on Vanguard. He came out today. While somebody in Lagos State, that one, instead of impeding local government, he went to create 37 new LCD, 37 new local council development areas, to the point that the Obasanjo that we were talking about like 30 minutes ago did not give him local government funds. He wanted to crush Lagos State. You know, he was said to hell with that money. That is, and then he went into his visionary, went into his competence, went into what he's thinking cap, that shackles. He broke the shackles, and that was why the revenue of Lagos exploded. That's what we're talking about here. Now, in Lagos State, we have Governance Advisory Council. You see that when Musiliu Obanikoro, when he got into that council, you saw that his son was even congratulated. Daddy, congratulations. Lagos State is a structure. Lagos State, you have former governors, they are in there. You have all these former this, former that, they are in there. We sit down and talk about the governance of Lagos State. We have a structure. That's why you said we don't really care about Nigerian Governors Forum. Shebi, the head is Aminu Tambuwa, and Tambuwa, the state is the poorest in Nigeria, 91% poverty. So we are not concerned about that in Lagos State. And it's that kind of system, strata, that I want to imbibe in Nigeria. I am not saying verbatim or word for word or structure for structure. But in Lagos State, like the question you asked, we have Governance Advisory Council, where you have about 10, 15, 20 people. You even see pictures. You even see VP, Yemi Osibajo. You will see Ambody. You see Fashola. You may not see Baba. You may see Baba, you may not see Baba. You see all of them sit down in a round circle and they are talking. How Lagos State is going to grow and develop. We want to bring that to Nigeria. We want to bring diversity. We want to bring continuity. We want to bring structure. We want to bring templates. Like, this is how we want these things to go. Buhari is working on
you guys can have a bullion van.
You need to build
bullion van.
Your candidate still goes abroad for treatment. Your candidate still goes abroad for treatment. Your candidate still goes abroad for treatment. Your candidate goes abroad for treatment. How?
But let's now come back to that Lagos, Lagos Governors Forum. So, what law backs that structure?
No, it's not. There's no law about the structure. There's no law. We are not. It's not. There are no funds. We are not funding it. We are not funding it. It is just an association of great men in Lagos State. People that have done a lot of great things in Lagos State. Either have been like a deputy governor, or you've been a governor before, or maybe you've held some certain roles in Lagos State. You come together. So that's why there's that structure. There's that continuity, because everybody's thinking in one direction. You bring like mind, you bring a Fashola in there, there's a Sanwo-Olu in there. So you have old guys, old governors. Look at this.
What Ambode? Why is Ambode not there? Why is Ambode not there? Why is Ambode not there?
Ambode is there now. There are pictures of Ambode and all of them sitting and talking now.
Yeah.
It's online now.
They sit down like this and talk.
Ambode is there now.
Bongoli, why did you run for office now?
Let's move on. But I'll just ask this, brief, yes or no.
Okay.
Is the Nigerian Governors Forum, is it funded?
I don't know.
Okay. So now, Preye, back to you. APC has bashed you heavily today. I don't know.
It's regular every week. I'm used to it. I'm immune to it. I have a very thick skin for anything Bongoli has to say.
But he says that you speak over him.
Because he has a lot of false narratives on the live every time. He's always misleading people under the guise of presenting facts, So
now we've been having fun so far or whatnot. And I think we should be rolling towards the end of this. So now I can now bash each and every one of the candidates. And then you guys can now bash me if you want. Fair game.
No, don't worry. We won't bash you, Habib. Thank you for giving us your platform. It's just that Bongoli likes to mislead both the people watching the live, and I'm immune to it.
Bongoli, I'll rotate from you again.
Okay.
Now, Bongoli, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu has, been given quite a lot of accolades for having achieved several things in Lagos. He has been given accolades for setting a pattern of continuity. But at the same time, there's an opinion that he is the Lord Godfather of Lagos. That is undemocratic in my own opinion. Do you think that is democratic?
Point of correction is called our Lagos daddy. That's our Lagos daddy. So that's our Lagos daddy. We need a graduate coming for him.
I don't understand.
Point of correction. That's our Lagos daddy.
So Labour Party is the only one that does not have something. So you have APC, you have Lagos daddy. For PDP, you have Dino baby. Labour Party.
We're serious, Habib. We're very serious. We don't have time for games. That's what we have here.
It's not games. It's why we welcome our daddy. It's why we welcome our...
He asked me the question. Labour Party is serious. We're very, very serious-minded. We're serious-minded individuals, most made up of mostly young people who want to see a better Nigeria. So before you see us doing Dino baby, go hard. He go hard. Or you want to say Jagaba City boy? No. We don't have time for things like that. We're focused on the goal.
Let me continue my conversation. The question you asked me, thank you very much. Thank you very much. See, he's our Lagos daddy. And we gave him the grandest of welcomes on Tuesday. Even one of our haters, Rufai Hussaini, on Arise, he said, wow, city boy. Man, it was grand. It was mega. Good Lord. He couldn't hide it. When you see something good, something great, you talk about. Now, back to your question. I wouldn't say it is either democratic or undemocratic. In my field, I'm an engineer. In my field, they say you do not fix what is not broken. Now, if you look at all the states in Nigeria today that don't have a state daddy versus a state, one state that we know has a daddy, percentage-wise, let us look at the growth metrics of all of these states. Tell me one state that is, has, or even will do better. Right now in Nigeria, the state that is actually competing percentage-wise is Kaduna State. That's El-Rufai. And El-Rufai is an APC person, and El-Rufai is using the template of Lagos State. Because remember, in Lagos State, all the governors in Nigeria, they always enter school bus like this and come to Lagos for excursion. How are people doing it in Lagos? We want to learn, so we can take back and go and do it. Judiciary reforms will go and come, and they came to Lagos to come and learn judiciary reforms. The Labour Party that could not pay their poster, it was the Anambra State Signage and Advert Agency that came for Lagos State to Lagos State Signage and Advert Agency. They don't have money to pay, so Soludo removed it using that. Last month, Anambra State, that's what I'm just calling Anambra State, because that's obvious. Anambra State, they came to come and learn from Joey Bokwe how are Lagos managing their waste. Our daddy in Lagos is towing the right path for all of us, and we are not complaining in Lagos State because we are seeing the growth and development in Lagos State. So I'm challenging all the Nigerians on this platform, and I will watch this program. Tell me one state, percentage metric wise, that is doing better than Lagos State. One. Our daddy has given us the path of continuity. I know people might not like it. Some people might say, why is he calling Lagos daddy? Tell me one state. I spoke with somebody the other day. I said, tell me one state that is doing better than Lagos State, percentage wise. Because Lagos State is $147.5 billion, $145 billion GDP economy. That is the 5th largest in the whole of Africa. And they said by 2030, it's going to be number 3 because we already have Lekki Free Trade Zone. Imagine Lekki Free Trade Zone comes in. Look at my daddy. Look at my Lagos daddy. There's one video that Sheilo posted. Sheilo saw when our Lagos daddy took Fashola and they were looking at that new Lekki Free Trade Zone that they built, and he pointed and he started talking about we have turned a liability to an asset. That is visionary. That was about 2 decades ago. Now look at what they went to go and what they went to go and commission last month. That Buhari commissioned last month. The vision of our Lagos daddy. $200 billion revenue, over 170,000 jobs. Is very democratic. I won't change my mouth. It's not neither undemocratic, it's very democratic because we are seeing the growth and development in Lagos State. And I challenge anybody on this platform. Tell me one state that is doing better than Lagos State percentage-wise. The only state that comes close is Kaduna. Do you know that in Kaduna State now they want to have their own BRT, a bus rapid transport system? In Kaduna State. In Kaduna State now they are saying they want to have their own metro rail. They want to have their own metro rail. These are what we are talking about: fact, evidence, growth, development, key performance indicators, key operating parameters. We're talking serious business here. We're not talking emotions here. We're not talking of someone that say, if there's how will you raise money? Say he will go and sell all the refineries in Nigeria. His own is just to sell. He sold the Akwa Ibom smelting company that the federal government used $3.2 billion to build. He sold it for $130 million. What about the Delta Steel? That was built for like 1.3, 1.4 billion in the Preye area. He sold it for $70 million. And that is the person that our principal, Obi, said that is my mentor. Obi said Atiku is my mentor. That's Obi's mentor. Mr. Selig.
You know, I need to tackle him on that.
I rest my submission.
I need to tackle him on that.
I'm not talking again.
When Bongoli speaks of Lagos,
I'm not talking.
Bongoli, you should go back.
Bongo, let's hear Musti, please. Go ahead.
Let me tell you, when you think about Lagos, Bongo, and you know you're a well-traveled person, and you kind of, I'm sure maybe you understand history. Okay, Lagos State was not just a state; it was the federal capital of Nigeria. One, you go to Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur at one time was the capital of Malaysia. It's now Putrajaya. Check out Kuala Lumpur and Putrajaya. So I'll give. I'm going to count like 10 for you, so you know and learn when you talk about Lagos. You understand? Go to go to Istanbul here, Turkey, ordinary Turkey here. The former capital of Turkey was what? Istanbul. Now is what? Is what do you call it? What do you call the Ankara? Go and look at the development in Istanbul and Ankara. Bongoli, stop talking Lagos. Don't annoy us here. Every time you say Lagos, Lagos, Lagos. They do not even build Lagos. Lagos State was federal capital. What are you talking? It was the capital of the country. The federal government built Lagos. The port was built by the federal government, not Lagos, not the state governor. So what I talk, you see, when you know why I get angry with this Bola Ahmed Tinubu people, all these ABC people. If Bola Ahmed was from governor of maybe Ondo, they will not be saying what they are saying now.
What is for me, what is the number one
you talk about Lagos, you talk about Lagos. Lagos, remember, it was the capital of the federation.
The number one characteristic.
Lagos don't only build. Bongolin, I'm giving you
number one characteristic.
Lagos State was built by federal government and the private sector, not Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Remember, it's the capital. So I can give you 5 or 6 countries that they moved their capital from where it was before to a new capital. Go and look at those countries. Go to Ankara now. Ankara looks like a dead house. Go to Putrajaya in Malaysia. It looks like a dead house. So why are you always saying Lagos? You know, the way you talk about Lagos is as if Bola Tinubu created Lagos, built Lagos, and that was it.
The man peddles. The man constantly says that he built Lagos. He built Lagos. He owns Lagos. Those are the statements we hear.
Please hold on.
At the end of the day, how?
Abuja has been the capital of Nigeria for about 32 years now. Yes. Lagos State was only the capital of Nigeria for 31 years. I rest my case.
So what are you saying? You're not making this point. You're saying Abuja. I'm telling you that any country in this world that will be a capital. You cannot compare between capital and one capital. There's no way.
Has also boosted economic activity in Lagos. Tinubu did not build Lagos. Tinubu did not build Lagos.
Why you keep saying Tinubu built Lagos?
Tinubu that performed infrastructurally. Tinubu did not build Lagos.
Why did you build Lagos? Were there no railways in Lagos? What did we care? Were there no railways in Lagos? When I was in school in Port Harcourt, I used to travel from Port Harcourt to Kano by rail, first class. Go and ask anybody. We had rails. So what are you talking about? That rail line, you got blue line, yellow. Was it Tinubu? We wanted to came to Lagos, there was rail.
Let me complete it. Red rail, blue rail, orange rail, green rail, brown rail, purple rail. 4 more rails are coming. We just commissioned blue rail.
Then this year we red rail. It is not Bola Ahmed
Tinubu. How many years to complete 20 kilometers of rail? How many years?
You don't build rail station for you want to work on the existing between Lagos and Ibadan. You are shouting. Blue rail, yellow rail. Let it come now. Let's see.
The number one characteristic of a bat, I always remind myself, is blindness.
It's not about politics now. Let's leave politics aside now. Let's look at the facts, the crux of the matter. Let's leave politics. You understand? Port Harcourt. Look at what Wiki has done in Port Harcourt. When I schooled in Port Harcourt, I went to Baptist High School, Borokiri in Port Harcourt. You understand what I'm saying? When we were in Port Harcourt, when I schooled in Port Harcourt, it was a fucking beautiful place. Sorry for my F word. You understand? It was an amazing city. Amazing. I used to take train from Port Harcourt. They will put me in business class. I'll be first class. We have coaches. We have sleeper, everything. We will come all the way. There's restaurants. All these things that will go to Europe now. We enter Europe and we're in business class. There's this one.
It has to be
like 60 way back.
Let me be honest with you. Rails. That's what you're bragging with.
I don't want you to change.
They derail from rail.
How effective is the train? How is it effective?
I muted myself. Talk.
So, but when you come and tell us that, my problem with the BATT,
Lagos, capital of Nigeria, 31 years. Finish.
And so what?
Bongoli.
And so what? Bongoli. So what? Am I from? Is my candidate from Abuja? Is Obi from Abuja?
Bongo.
Don't Bongo. Let's
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Actually,
yes, sir.
sometimes in politics, let's be straight.
Bongo, don't forget also had the status of a colony. Before,
yes, I was about to. Sorry, can I say something?
The capital of the federal capital of Nigeria. He also had the status of a colony previously. So Lagos had a track of development. Now, that is not taking away from the fact that there has been some form of management or the other in Lagos for Lagos to have evolved to the point where it is. I'm not taking away that fact. I'm just trying to clarify that there's been a sustainable foundation that could easily have been built upon, as compared to other states that were deprived of that level of funding simply because they did not have the level of infrastructure that Lagos had developed over time. Based on
and Mr. Habib, Lagos has been there even before the independence. Even before the independence.
Kaduna State for me now. Explain Kaduna State. What's going on in Kaduna State?
Explain Port Harcourt. Why not explaining Port Harcourt? Why you explaining Port Harcourt?
Today, the growth
why
and
you
development
explaining Port Harcourt? Even Erufai himself spoke about Port Harcourt. He gave accolade to Wike.
He's the second best state in Nigeria.
Abi, let's go politics, Abi. Your president is from where? Is what party? APC, Abi. The president is APC, right?
You have all these grand ideas. Why didn't you assist Buhari in improving the economy?
The president of Nigeria is APC.
Is he from
right?
Yes.
Yes. Why did he give Erufai the best governor? Why did he give it to Wike? So why are you talking about Kaduna?
Bongo.
Hold on, the network on my end.
Bongo,
sorry.
I said the president. You said he's in APC. I said, has he been campaigning? Hello?
Oh, my network. I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah,
my network. I'm sorry. It's going off and
on. We can hear you. We can hear you clearly.
I was asking. I said, they said the president is in APC. I said, has he been campaigning?
My president? Our president. Our president, Abi.
Your president.
No, our president. Our president. Has he been campaigning? Of course, yes. Now he was in our Lagos Daddy mega rally. Now our Lagos Daddy mega rally. He carried our Lagos Daddy hand like this. He said, "Vote for him." And he carried some loose hand. Now.
Oh, okay. I thought they said it was refinery. He came to commission.
Refinery? No, Baba came for Lagos rally now.
No, Abi. I want to ask that question.
They have not commissioned Dangote refinery yet now.
Bongoli, you don't answer my question. Bongoli, you don't answer my question. You said that Kaduna State. We should explain Kaduna. Wow. I want to go back there because we have to go back. We have to finish it. You said we should explain Kaduna, Abi.
Explain the growth in Kaduna State. All the great things that Erufai is doing in Kaduna State now. Explain it to me now.
He's doing fantastically well. What about Port Harcourt? Why did your president say that Port Harcourt is the best? The governor of Port Harcourt is the best. Wait now. Why do you give it to Erufai?
He's just being flyover.
You see?
No.
You see that's what I'm telling about APC.
No.
You know what I'm telling about APC? APC have they don't have the interest of Nigerians at heart.
APC people are more interested.
They don't have the interest of Nigeria at heart.
You are more interested in politics.
I have been to Kaduna. Abi, I've been to Kaduna. Can you hear me now? Bongoli, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Bongoli. No, Bongoli is trying to hide that he cannot hear. I want him to say he can hear, so I can tell him something. Can you hear me, Bongoli? Can you hear? I tell you now. You see APC people?
Bongoli, you can hear us.
I can hear you, but you cannot hear.
You can hear us clearly. You can hear us.
I can't hear. The network
Bongoli, you can hear us. Bongoli, you can hear us. Bongoli.
Wait,
you know that you can hear us.
Bongoli, I'm for you. I'm with you today.
Clearly.
But now I can hear he's back now. He's back now.
You can hear me,
he's back now.
Okay, Bongoli.
Wait.
I went to Kaduna. Okay, but you can hear now. Abi?
Yeah, I can hear now. I can hear now. It's better and I can hear now. Go ahead, I can hear.
Bongoli, I've been to Kaduna. I schooled in Kaduna. I did my primary school in Kaduna. Okay. And I went through Kaduna. Amazing job. I'm giving Erufai kudos. I'm PDP, not APC. But because I'm a Nigerian, I'm a Nigerian first. What?
What about
Sorry. Huh?
Governor Ayodeji.
that idiot that doesn't know his right from his. Sorry, I'm calling him an idiot. Wow. I have to call him an idiot. But anyways, who is he? Governor for who? Governor in his state, not my governor for me. You understand? I don't have respect for any governor that doesn't have integrity. He doesn't have integrity. Anyways, so as I was saying to you,
problem. That is personal. That is that.
Yeah, it has to be personal.
What happened?
No, but that's the truth. What can I add? Anyways, I'm saying, because I'm a Nigerian first, if I see a Labour Party governor doing something good, I will give him accolades for it.
Lay what? Lay what? Don't say Labour Party. Lay what? You can say PDP or APC or ABGA. Lay what? No, don't do that.
Bongoli, rest. Rest.
Don't do that, sir.
Rest.
We have 24 hours. Only 24 hours. That's what we have.
Peter Obi is leading at the
24 hours.
No. Campaign is over. Campaign is over.
All your structure. This is not the end, though. Upon all your structure.
Bongoli, come May 29th, don't be surprised that there's a possibility you can be swearing in roads in Lagos, Roads Viva. Do you want to rule that out?
If I run against him, in satellite town, they give me more votes than in my Oriade. In my local council development area, I will get more votes. Like the votes alone I will get there will defeat
because you are
in the whole of Lagos.
You are the returning officer. You speak for all the electorate.
I will defeat him. I will defeat him. But the vote from my own community.
Get off your high horse. Get off your high horse.
What are you talking about?
Get off your high horse. That horse said the horse said is sure. In fact, get off your donkey.
But if you see what's happening now, if you see what's happening now,
get off your donkey.
They are shaking. APC is shaking right now. We are on ground.
Huh? What did you say?
I'm sorry for you. APC is shaking. This is what's happening to APC. You see what's happening to APC.
APC is not probably going to survive beyond this election.
Have your principal paid them their money? You know they were in your campaign headquarters. In your campaign headquarters, they say they've not paid them their money. The people that are working for Atiku.
Who has paid who?
Atiku is owing money. Atiku is owing them money.
Who? To who?
His workers now, the people that are working for him.
Everything about PDP and Labour Party, you know on this life you've not sold your market.
You go in trouble. You are finished.
It's this PDP and Labour Party.
This thing is Labour Party.
This is all the art of war.
What does APC have to offer?
Let me explain. And to the 85 people here, in the Art of War written by Sonju, he said, know thyself, so you know how to attack. And know thy enemies, so you know how to defend. I know Peter Obi than you. I know Atiku than you. I know their manifesto than you. You people. I know everything about your principles than you people. So I know where to attack you people. I know where to defend myself. I know where to attack.
Your knowledge is subjective. I put it to you that your knowledge is subjective.
I did not research. I know.
So you don't know everybody. No, you do not know everybody or every party. No, you do not.
You're wrong, and there's nothing you can do about it.
You do not.
I'm big, you're small. I'm right, you're wrong, and there's nothing you can do about
it. Can you
Bongoli? Can you actually assume? You do not know. Your knowledge is subjective. You do not know.
The network they work now. The network they work. I mean, the network they work now.
Because your network they respond to the nonsense where they yarn.
My network they work now. My network create the elements. Create throwing jabs. Below the belt jab, it's an element.
Your network cannot handle it because you are just saying a lot of things that are off track. You know,
Bongoli, on a serious note, on a serious note, let's be serious. For once.
I don't expect seriousness from Bongoli.
Let's be serious for once.
Time out. Now, we have been here for quite a while, and I'm really having fun. I know we could be here to actually even do the...
I have to go now. It's 7:20. I have to go now, please.
Bongoli, don't run.
All that. If it was even
more
time,
let's stay to the end.
This one I have to drive home.
I say we should do election monitoring from ESF and all that if it was possible, but that's not possible. But what I'll just say is this. I hope that everybody's watching this, has like 3-4 people that they call close family or close friends that they can send a text message to, even if they can't call. Say, please let's have a peaceful and fair election as much as possible. Let there be no violence. Let there be no untoward. Whether it's violence, whichever of the two. It's all going to be the day after election. Politicians will always be there. They will always contest elections. They will always belong to different parties. Some will wake up today. They are in PDP. By the time they step out of the house, enter inside money, they go to ACN. From ACN, they go to Labour Party. They go back to PDP, all in 24 hours. It's the same thing. It's always the same story. So please, for whatever is going to cost you, just send those messages and say, please, peaceful elections. Let there be not one Nigerian that would die over these elections. Not one. Either from dehydration or from gunshots. Whichever way, let there be none. We're going to close this by me just asking one question, and each one of you, can just answer. I'll start with Musti. Musti, what are your predictions for this election, for the presidential elections?
It's clear now. What's the real prediction? What prediction? What prediction do you want to know that other than we don't win the election already? We're just waiting. We're waiting to say Mr. President waiting is just there. So we're trying to see who and who we're going to pick from the opposition party to work with us. It's on a correct person. We don't win already now. Which prediction you want here? You want me to begin giving state by state?
All right. So somebody has reminded me of something. So I'm just going to pin the comments so that I don't forget. He said I've not thrown the jab that I want to throw at the candidates. So, but I'll continue and then I'll now use the jab as closing. All right. So I'll save the best for last. So that's, of course, Preye, because Preye has plenty of money. There's money in Panama. So
don't let them come after Preye. I know they
see me, ordinary me.
What, Bogoli? What are your predictions for these elections, presidential?
Now, when you talk about the Southwest, in the Southwest, the APC will win Lagos State, will win Ogun State, will win Oyo State, even though the APC lost Oyo State by 1,000 votes, 366 to 365,000 votes in 2019. APC will win Ekiti State. APC will win Ondo State. They win Ondo State because Olusegun Mimiko is not part of the Atiku clique. Because of that North versus South, he also wants to become the chairman of the PDP party. Because PDP won Ondo State, 175,000 to 145,000.
Bongoli, that is what we're saying. We can give you statistics.
You have your time, and then when we look at Osun State,
he said 1 minute. He said 1 minute.
Wait now. When we look at Osun State,
Mr.
let me talk. When we look at Osun State, APC is winning. Now, let us go to the South, close by. Bayelsa State. Either APC wins it or we share it, because remember. Yeah, because Bayelsa State, Lions won it last time. Lions won it. Okay. So, but because of the issue with the deputy and all of that, Supreme Court and everything, so that one went down. So we are coming back to reclaim it. Then you now move to Rivers State.
Has APC been winning Bayelsa before? How long will the APC win Bayelsa?
In the history of Nigeria,
I will give you statistics last week. What are you saying?
My network will start acting up. Make I thought my network will start. My network will start. My network will start. So in the history since 1999, I know the PDP has never ever lost any state in Southeast and South. We are going to change it this time. Rivers State, we are going to win Rivers State. Then you now go to
Edo
State. APC win Edo State.
Allow you to finish.
No, but this statistics, I could do the same statistics for you. If you tell me to give you statistics of states, but there's no time. What do you want to analyze 36 states?
No, I will analyze it. It's my time. APC will win Edo State. You know why? Because Labour Party and PDP will share votes. APC will win Delta State. You know why? Labour Party and PDP will share votes. Now, when you now go to Cross River, we have Ben Ayade there. We will definitely put a very good standing. We might end up winning Cross River. It's very possible.
That don't kill you. It don't kill you already.
You now have Akwa Ibom State, Udom Emmanuel. They are having serious issues with PDP gubernatorial candidate. They are having serious issues in Akwa Ibom. Serious issues. So, and we have Godswill Akpabio there. So, we're going to get our regular 25% that we get there. I think we got 30% or so in the last elections. Then we'll now enter Southeast. Southeast Ebonyi. We are going to win it. Confirm. Sitting Al Kurani. We win Ebonyi State. Then we'll now talk about Imo. Imo, normal. We they get vote for there. Half. Then when we now talk about Enugu, PDP will win that one. Abia, PDP will win. Anambra, PDP will win Anambra State. I'm saying it here on your life. PDP will win Anambra State, not Labour Party.
Okay.
Now, when we go to the north,
no evidence.
In the north, APC has 21 state governors in Nigeria. In the north alone, we have 14. Now, when we now talk about North Central, we have 5 out of 6 states.
Now, you are entering my jurisdiction. Break it down for me. Show me how to break down.
But are the governors voting? So the governors vote on behalf of the entire state or what?
The power of governors. Is that like you overnight social media political analysts, overnight social media political.
You don't know how this is.
We will teach you before Saturday. You will learn. You go learn. You go learn. They don't want me to analyze it.
Stop misleading people.
Then in the North Central, we have 5 in 6 states. We did not win Benue. We did not win Plateau. We have Reverend Father Aliyah. We have Reverend Father there. I saw Preye with a rosary and all those things. I saw it there with a rosary. We have Reverend Father there.
Plateau He's my State, relative. Continue.
The DG of the campaign is from Plateau State. Actually, I'm a thief lady. So, you know, look at Nasarawa, forget about it. Niger State, that is where Jagaban of Bogu. Jagaban is in Niger State. Forget about it.
So
forget about
Forget
about Kwara. Then now, we have Northeast. You say that Northeast.
Bongoli is catching cruise. Let him catch cruise.
We are going to share it. We are going to share it.
Only you for the whole Nigeria.
We are going to share it 3-3. Now. We are going to share it 3-3.
Where?
See, we are going to collect Yobe. We are going to collect Bonu. We are going to collect Gombe. PDP will collect Bauchi. They will collect Taraba. And they will collect Adamawa.
Bongo, do you have INEC? Do you have INEC?
Let me enter Northwest. I want to enter Northwest.
How to get the analysis for Northwest?
Where we have our bulk vote. The KKK, Kaduna, Kano.
Oh my God!
They will come with their millions. Then we have Zamfara.
You said 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute.
No, you know, Habib. I like when you know I'm listening. I like why. Because if you are not what happened today in Kano, you will not even call APC in Kano. You will not call APC.
APC for the first time in history. APC for the first time will win Abuja because Labour Party will share votes with PDP.
When we pick up Amak election, what happened? Amak election.
See,
wait, Amak election.
Now PDP they win Abuja. But this time, Labour Party and PDP go share them, so APC go win. You don't know what happened. So this is our agent. Peter B is our agent. Peter B is working for APC. It's our agent. It's our agent. Our guy.
Sorry,
I'm done. I have to go now. Let me hear what you have to say, so I can go.
See. Let me explain something to you. You can analyze from now to tomorrow. You do not speak for the Nigerian electorate. We can only campaign and win their hearts over. This self-acclaimed INEC proposition that the way you put yourself like, oh, you're the one now that will tell the citizens of the 36 states plus the FCT how to vote. Come on now. Anyways, my own contribution is this. Please vote for Labour Party. The logo is Mama, Papa, and Peking. And yes, the Labour Party will... Let me finish. According to multiple polls that have been conducted, Peter Obi currently has the popular vote. The distribution of his vote is what we're going to understand after the votes have been cast on Saturday. I genuinely would not take a stance, and I've done that on all my lives. I will not take a stance as INEC because I believe the Nigerian people would take their intentions to the ballot and cast their vote. So yes, Peter Obi currently has the popular votes in Nigeria. According to the polls, the most recent one conducted on CNN, 41%. 41% of Nigerian voters. And as we speak, 87 million people have their PVC. So please, I'm waiting for it to be distributed accordingly and for us to succeed at the polls. Continue to assume, continue to laugh, whatever it is. I know this is your gimmick, your Israel gimmick. I'm not worried about it. Please vote for Peter Obi. He is the best candidate on the ballot as we speak. And make sure you come out, peaceful elections, don't fight, don't usurp the peace at your polling units, and cooperate with one another, and make sure that, most importantly, we have a free and fair, violence-free election. As Habib said earlier, our lives are not worth it. Even if you have political differences with those at your polling units, please ensure that it's conducted in a free and fair manner, and continue to vote for Peter Obi. All of you, I know all of you here are obedient. 41% for now. That's just Tito. So let's see.
You know, Habib, sorry, let me contribute to what. Right. Let me just say something that I agree on with Preye. Okay, yeah. When it comes to the violent, free elections, yeah. I think everybody has been following the three of us on different platforms. Where some of the platforms were even declining because we're tired of. I think we've and I not just I think I know and God Almighty has brought us here to emulate something, you know. So I'm sure all the people that follow our debates and they know we quarrel, we jab and everything, and we're friends. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure the people that follow us, and we want them to also tell their friends, even before they go for the polls on Saturday, go and watch our videos. I'm sure our people will not be violent. Anybody that's following us on both Daddy Fees and any other platform, you know, they know it's all about love. It's all about love. We argue, we throw our points, we give our we jab, but at the end of the day, it's all about love. So I have a very good feeling that our followers will be very peaceful. And they will go there and they will emulate what we've done. They see us argue, you can have an argument, but man, we're still friends. And as we say, whatever happens, we're Nigerian first. Election will finish, everybody will go begin waka, everybody will go there. If not Peter Obi, if not give me something. So I'm sure our followers will
There's somebody that has spent the entire life insulting me. Baba, I'm not disturbing you for a political stance. Support your candidates. Don't join live and be insulting. Rest. Saturday we will know who the winner will be, and everybody will rest. Stop insulting, and she knows nothing. I'm not here to prove my intelligence to you. I'm here to state my political stance and support my candidates. You can do the same thing. Rest.
So, like
all these blind bats, all of you should rest.
Like you keep saying.
As Musti said, it's not that deep.
Yes, it is not. It's far from it. And since somebody has reminded me that I have not thrown my jab, let me throw my jab now.
Yeah, throw your jab, bro.
It's getting late.
All the three legal candidates, all of them are the same thing. They are politicians. Now your conscience make you vote for. Remember,
I don't trust their conscience.
Where Aaron scandal. So make now remember that one. But make now also remember, say the biggest scam we don't happen for this country, Nigeria. Now Diezani Alisima Dwekeu. And she was in PDP But you know where she hide the money? Now for Fidelity Bank, Obi na get that bank. So make me remember all these things. And at the same thing, all of them.
Obi doesn't own the bank. He was
I like you.
Bank ownership.
I like you. I like you. I like you. I like the way you ended it.
You always come.
But if you don't, Preye don't mind. Is it Habib? Habib, you know, Habib is a good boy. Habib is a good boy. So you don't want Igbo will talk, eh? You could not say, you know now Igbo boy, no problem. You know talk say APC take money, APC will get bullion van. They carry wolf, they don't carry money come out.
He did not violate the Money Laundering Act now. He did not violate the Money Laundering Act now.
Yeah.
He did not violate van. He did not do that money.
The bullion that missed its way to your house.
The bullion that missed its way to
your house. He missed his way now.
He money laundering and it's a fact.
Yeah.
But they say he missed his way. Okay. Why did he say that he missed his way? Why did he miss his way? How did he miss his way?
That's all I can say.
It's not money laundering. It's not money laundering.
Bongoli, fear God, oh.
It's not money laundering. Bye-bye.
We will see you on Saturday. We'll see you at the polls. See you on the polls on Saturday.
See you at the polls. Good luck,
thank you so much for this. We appreciate. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Have safe elections. Bye. Good night.